Have you ever woken up in the darkness, shifting under the covers, only to realize once again it's time for another trip to the bathroom? Maybe it's your second, maybe your fourth time that night. You glance at the clock and sigh, wishing you could just sleep through until morning. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. For millions of us, especially as we inch past the age of 60, restless nights are ruled not by dreams, but by our own bladders. Nightly bathroom visits, or nocturia as we doctors call it, aren't just a simple nuisance. They steal away your restful sleep, chip away at your energy, and sometimes, in the most serious cases, even lead to falls or health scares as you stumble in the dark. So let me ask you, what if something as simple as the way you drink water could help you reclaim that precious, undisturbed rest? Before we go on, if you find value in conversations like these, where experience, science, and a bit of heart meet at your kitchen table, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and stay informed. We're building a community where your health is valued and your questions are always welcome. Now, you might be wondering, Doctor, why on earth does drinking water matter for my nightly bathroom trips? That's more than fair. Most of us have been told to drink plenty of water, 8 glasses a day. Stay hydrated. But not many talk about how and when we drink water, how that rhythm can make the difference between restful sleep and restless nights. As a senior urologist, and as someone who cares deeply for every patient and every story, I want to share with you 5 powerful ways you can change your water habits to help stop peeing at night. First, let's lay things out with absolute clarity. Your body needs water, but it also needs balance. Think of your bladder as a reservoir and your kidneys as a sophisticated water treatment plant. They work best on a predictable schedule. If you flood them late in the day, they have no choice but to send you urgent wake-up calls at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and so on. Yet, if you time your intake thoughtfully, you're giving your body the gift of predictability, a kind of harmony that lets your sleep deepen and your energy return. But let's step back for a second. Nocturia isn't just about water. It can be a sign of other issues: enlarged prostate in men, overactive bladder in women, medications, even heart or kidney troubles. That's why, as always, if nightly urination is a new or worsening problem for you, see your doctor. Don't mind the internet in silence or accept sleeplessness as your lot. But if your physician's already ruled out serious causes, these water habits can truly be life-changing. So how do most urologists teach their own loved ones and patients how to drink water the right way? Here's how I explain it at my practice and at the dinner table. Imagine your day as a garden. You want to water it so it's healthy and flourishing. It makes sense to focus most of your watering in the morning and early afternoon, when the sun will help your plants, your body, use and distribute that moisture. If you save your watering for the evening, the garden will be saturated overnight, leading to runoff, just as your bladder fills while you sleep. But I know real life is more complicated. Sometimes you forget to drink early, or you're parched after dinner. That's why these next parts are so important. Here's where bullet points can clarify main concepts, roughly 20% of narration for emphasis. Front-load your hydration. Aim to drink 2/3 of your daily water before 3 p.m. Taper intake after mid-afternoon. Gradually decrease the amount you sip as the day goes on. Plan your last big glass. Have your last full glass of water 2-3 hours before bedtime. Watch for hidden fluids. Soup, juicy fruit, coffee, tea, all count toward your fluid total. Monitor medications. Some, like blood pressure pills, act as diuretics and may need to be timed earlier in the day if possible. Let's dig deeper. When you drink water right before bed, say while taking your evening pills or washing down a late snack, it's like filling a reservoir that's already on the edge. Your kidneys work continuously, filtering and sending urine to the bladder even while you sleep. Unlike in youth, your aging bladder holds less and your sleep isn't as deep, which means you wake up sooner for what would have been shrugged off by your younger self. Let's use an analogy. If you were to take a road trip, you'd plan your gas stops carefully. You don't want to be scrambling for a rest area in the middle of a deserted road at 3 a.m. Yet thousands of Americans do exactly that every night in their own homes, all because their tank was topped off just before bed. I once had a patient, Mr. Hollis, a retired librarian of 72, who came to me nearly in tears. He hadn't slept a full night in years, and his days felt like slow trudges through a fog. We examined him, checked his health, his prostate, and found no red flags. But his water habits? He routinely drank most of his fluids after dinner, simply out of routine. In less than a week of shifting his main drinking hours before mid-afternoon, he was, amazingly, down from 4 nightly trips to just 1. That change alone brought tears to his eyes. His sleep, his mood, even his memory improved. If there's just one lesson I can share with you here in part 1, it's this: timing matters as much as total. Drink thoughtfully. Treat water as medicine, not just for thirst, but for how your body can best use it to let you rest. Let's pick up right where we left off. If you're still with me, you're probably searching for genuine relief from a frustrating and all too common problem. Why do our bodies insist on waking us, sometimes many times, to urinate at night? Is it just aging? Is it something we did wrong? Or is there a simple logic, rooted in biology, that we can gently change to our advantage? Pull up a chair. Pour yourself a glass of water. Yes, water. And let me walk you through what's happening inside that incredible body of yours, and how 5 practical, medically sound strategies can help you stop peeing so often at night. Picture your kidneys, 2 bean-shaped organs quietly humming along, sifting out waste, adjusting salt and water, working tirelessly day and night. When we're young, our bodies produce a hormone called vasopressin at night, which tells our kidneys to hold on to water, concentrating urine so our bladders don't fill as quickly while we sleep. But as we age, this hormone often declines. The result? The kidneys filter just as much fluid at night as during the day, and our bladders simply can't keep up. Layer onto that a lifetime of bladder changes, maybe a bit less stretch, maybe some prostate enlargement, maybe muscles not quite as strong, and you have a recipe for nighttime wake-ups. Here's the hopeful part. While we can't reverse time, we can work with our rhythms and habits to lighten the burden on our bladders each night. Many of these changes don't require expensive medications or dramatic life overhauls. They're small, mindful tweaks to how and when you consume fluid. Let's consider each one, while never forgetting your hydration is a prescription, and sleep is the healing it can bring. First, consolidate your fluids during the daylight hours. This strategy is deceptively simple, but in my practice, it's deeply powerful. Imagine your bladder like a garden bucket. If you pour steadily into it all day, you can empty it regularly without stress. But if you leave most of your watering for evening, that poor bucket fills right as you wish to rest. Here is how I advise patients to implement this. Begin your day with a full glass of water, even before your morning coffee. This jumpstarts your hydration and signals your body's tank to fill up early so you're not catching up later. Strategically time your drinking. Think of it in 3 phases each day. Most water before 3 p.m., a moderate amount from 3 to 6 p.m., and minimal sips after 6 p.m. Let's use an example. A 72-year-old patient of mine, Mrs. Byrne, had always saved her water bottles for evening, feeling thirsty right as she slowed down for her favorite TV shows. We simply shifted her heaviest intake to the morning, setting gentle reminders on her phone and pairing water with meals. Within weeks, her nightly trips to the bathroom fell from 3 to 1. Her words to me, "Doctor, I feel like I got my nights back." Second, be vigilant about hidden fluids. It's easy to forget that soup, juicy fruit, herbal tea, even those nutritious brothy stews all add to your fluid intake. For some, a big bowl of watermelon or a mug of broth at 8 p.m. is just as bladder-bothering as a tall glass of water. Keep gentle track of everything you consume, especially after dinner. Third, and perhaps less obvious, watch for dietary triggers and medications that sneakily increase urine production. Caffeine and alcohol are notorious culprits. Both are diuretics, meaning they tell your kidneys to dump more water. Having coffee or tea after 3 p.m.? For many seniors, that alone sabotages a night's rest. Many blood pressure medications, especially certain diuretics, are designed to flush out extra fluid. If you're taking a water pill in the evening, talk to your doctor or pharmacist about moving your dose to the morning if possible. Never change medication timing on your own. Always get professional advice. But when medically safe, this small shift can make a significant difference. Fourth, establish a gentle hydration curfew, a set time, usually 2 to 3 hours before bed, when you stop taking in fluids. This lets your body process what's already there, gives your kidneys time to send that last bit to the bladder, and helps ensure your tank isn't full when you lie down. Developing a specific routine helps. For instance, begin winding down after dinner. Finish your last cup of herbal tea with your meal. Make your last sip small and slow. And allow your body time to clear what it needs before your head meets the pillow. Fifth, work with, not against, your body's circadian rhythms. Our bodies are marvelous at adapting to patterns. By keeping your meal and hydration times regular, your kidneys and bladder will learn to expect and manage varying volumes. If you set gentle, consistent hydration habits, your body's internal timekeeper, the circadian clock, will start to coordinate more restful, less interrupted sleep. I want to speak directly to you here, friend to friend. I know it's tempting to solve nocturia by drinking less water altogether, but dehydration, especially in older adults, is dangerous and can sneak up faster than you think. Our sensation of thirst lessens with age, even as our bodies still require the same basic leaders to keep our kidneys, brain, and joints healthy. Never aim to be dry. Instead, aim to be smart about timing, quantity, and awareness. And let's address thirst. Some of you worry that if you cut down fluids in the evening, you'll find yourself dry-mouthed, uncomfortable, or unable to sleep. Here's what I suggest for that dry mouth or minor thirst after your hydration curfew. Rinse your mouth with water, but spit it out. Sometimes it's the sensation, not the volume, that satisfies. Suck on an ice chip for a few moments, just enough to moisten without flooding your system. Try a humidifier in your bedroom if you sleep with your mouth open or in a dry climate. It's the small, sustainable changes that last and that protect your overall health. Let's visualize this together. Imagine your hydration window as the brighter daylight portion of your personal timeline. Fill your bucket by midday, taper to careful sips by evening, and protect your nights the way you would a prized garden, guarding each restful hour as something sacred. Before I sign off this section, let me share a bit of hope. Many of my patients, after years of frustration and exhaustion, find that by simply working with their bodies, not against them, they can transform those endless wake-ups into solid, healing nights. And each morning, they rise not with groggy resignation, but with genuine energy and gratitude. I want you to imagine yourself not as a passive recipient of medical advice, but as an empowered co-pilot in your own health journey. By now, you understand how vital your hydration habits are and how the simple act of timing your water can reclaim the quiet, healing hours of sleep you deserve. But hydration may be one piece. How you wind down each evening, the subtle signals your body sends, and how you communicate with your doctor all contribute to achieving restful, uninterrupted nights. Let's begin where every evening starts, with routine. In my decades of caring for seniors, I've seen that those who embrace a calming, predictable bedtime ritual tend not only to sleep better, but also to experience fewer nighttime urges. Why? Because the mind and body are deeply interconnected. Stress, excitement, and worry can ramp up signals to your bladder. When you give yourself permission to slow down, you're sending a signal, subtle but genuinely powerful, that it's safe to rest. So, how does an expert design an effective evening routine? Visualize a gentle arc winding down through your evening. After dinner, you begin to lower stimulation, dim lights, and turn off loud televisions. Go for a gentle walk, if you're able. Light movement helps with digestion and signals your nervous system to wind down. This is also the perfect time for your final trip to the bathroom before bed. Make this a deliberate part of your routine, not just an afterthought as you brush your teeth. Consider pairing it with a calming cue, perhaps soft music or a bit of reading, to help cement the habit nightly. Many of my patients have found success with the double voiding technique. Wait a few minutes after your initial trip, then try again. This often helps fully empty the bladder and gives you that all-important extra hour, sometimes more, of sleep before your next urge. Now, let's talk about those subtle warning signs I mentioned earlier. As much as I love sharing wellness tools with you, I need to emphasize, nocturia is sometimes a messenger. If, despite your best efforts to change hydration habits and routines, you find your nighttime bathroom visits are increasing or now accompanied by discomfort, burning, blood, or a strong urgency, it's vital to check in with your healthcare provider. Night urination can occasionally point to urinary tract infections, diabetes, heart or kidney problems, or for men, prostate issues that need expert guidance. Asking for help isn't weakness. I wish more patients did so earlier, rather than soldiering through sleepless nights on their own. So prepare to advocate for yourself. Keep a brief diary for a week. Jot down your fluid intake, bathroom visits, any symptoms that seem unusual. This record helps your doctor pinpoint the trouble and save you time and frustration. For many, these simple foundational steps are life-changing. Front-load hydration to the first 2/3 of your day. Watch hidden fluids from soups, fruits, and drinks. Avoid caffeine and alcohol after 3 p.m. Set a hydration curfew, stopping drinks 2 to 3 hours before sleep. Build a consistent, calming evening routine with a final bathroom visit. Embrace double voiding to fully empty your bladder. Stay alert for warning signs and partner with your doctor as your first line of defense. Let's return for a moment to the emotions that brought you here: frustration, exhaustion, or maybe worry. Please hear me in this. Restful sleep is not a lost cause, nor is it an indulgence. It is a crucial, medically necessary pillar of health at every age. When you wake up less, you heal better, think more clearly, lower your risk for falls, and even strengthen your immune system. The ripple effect from a good night is profound. It can restore joy to ordinary moments, make long walks or grandchildren's visits more meaningful, and above all, remind you that you're not simply getting older, but continuing a life well lived. When you try these 5 water strategies and nighttime adjustments, give both your body and your mind grace and patience. Habits take time to shift. Improvements may start in days, but lasting change usually arrives over weeks. Celebrate every victory. Each undisturbed hour of sleep is a triumph and a gift. If you found these insights worthwhile, please like, subscribe, and most importantly, stay engaged. Our channel is more than medical tips. It's a supportive hub, a place where you can share, learn, and be heard. Check out our next video, where we'll dive deeper into healthy sleep, medication timing, and real patient stories of transformation. When you try these 5 water strategies and nighttime adjustments, give both your body and your mind grace and patience. Habits take time to shift. Improvements may start in days, but lasting change usually arrives over weeks. Celebrate every victory. Each undisturbed hour of sleep is a triumph and a gift. If you found these insights worthwhile, please like, subscribe, and most importantly, stay engaged. Our channel is more than medical tips. It's a supportive hub, a place where you can share, learn, and be heard. Check out our next video, where we'll dive deeper into healthy sleep, medication timing, and real patient stories of transformation.